Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Pamodzi Gold has made headlines again, with contract mining company JIC Mining Services announcing that it would take immediate steps to bring the Orkney gold mine out of care and maintenance and back into production. 1,200 jobs will be restored initially, with all 2,800 restored at a later stage. It's a case of liquidation unusual, and Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer is with me in the studio today to explain the situation. Martin, can you explain conventional liquidations and what makes this one specifically unusual?
Yes, Shannon, normally a liquidation is a fire sale. The liquidators move in, they realize the assets as fast as they can, and then they distribute the proceeds to the creditors. With this case, that is the last thing on their mind. In fact, they are trying to avoid final liquidation. It's really a liquidation extraordinary, with liquidators with incredible socio-economic sensitivity and also environmental sensitivity. And so, Enver Matala and Alan Pello and Dion Botha are very determined to preserve jobs, to make sure that all the people get back to work, and also to make sure that the creditors get paid. So it's going to be a win-win situation. They're going to resuscitate this mine. They're not having any fire sales, and they are avoiding final liquidation like the plague.
Why are they so keen to keep the mine in production, though?
There are two big issues why they don't want final liquidation, firstly. And the one is the socio-economic issue, because about 100,000 people are really affected directly and indirectly, and they want to keep bread on the table. But there is also an environmental imperative, because not only is water rising to critical levels in the mine at the East Rand operation, but it's even worse at the Free State operation, which they've now revealed that has even poorer infrastructure than East Rand, and less sort of intense management at the moment. So there's a great fear that there will be an environmental catastrophe, and that these pump stations, which are so valuable and which have to be preserved, will be flooded with regional consequences and water popping out on surface where it shouldn't. And this water, if it's untreated, it damages the environment.
It's hoped that the mine will be back at its real potential or operating potential within 3 to 5 months. Is this at all doable?
A lot of people questioned this when they met the liquidators this week. In fact, these liquidators are very communicative, which is also quite unusual. And they had a media conference, and there were a lot of skeptics. But when you listen to the people from the mine, and when you listen to the labor unions, you realize people are really anxious to get back to work. And the magic number is to reproduce 160 kilograms a month. That is their target, 160 kilograms a month. And if you talk to Uasa's Garth Ellis, he's on the labor side, he said, look, we can exceed that. If you talk to managers, they say, we've always had a fantastic ore body, we can do this. You've never experienced such keenness from a holistic approach, management and labor. So I really think they might even get to that 160 kilograms faster than they say. I think they're giving us an extended period to do it, but they're talking about 100 kilograms at the end of this month, once they start, and I'm sure they can get to that 160, and the moment they get over that 160 kilograms a month, they're into profit.
So it's definitely a positive outlook for that.
Very positive.
What is the story behind this funder of Best Rock and the new mystery suitor?
Well, everybody cannot answer that question. You can talk to CEOs, they can't answer the question. You can talk to liquidators, they can't answer the question. But Enver Matala, who's the lead liquidator, he said he's never been more hopeful, because what he said is the problem is there's a lot of red tape. There is Reserve Bank red tape with money coming in. There's also central bank red tape in Europe. But he said to Pamodzi this week that, look, we've got to have a letter from a European bank that tells us that this money is available to us. It's got to be as clear as that. And until we get that letter, we're going to continue with our plan, which is now to take, as we speak now, they are taking the East Rand operations and the Free State operations out of provisional judicial management, and they're putting it now into provisional liquidation. So all 3 operations will be in provisional liquidation. The disturbing thing, of course, is that the liabilities are building up. And if you ask Enver Matalo what is the liability, total liability position at Orkney, he'll tell you it's already at 337 million. But then he will tell you there's also a 300 million liability, probably, although they're still doing the calculations, at the Free State operation, and another 300 million liability at the East Rand operation. But worst of all, the poison chalice is this gold hedge on the East Rand, which could be as bad a liability as 800 million. So that seems to be the problem area that they're going to have to deal with and crystallize. The East Rand hedge is going to be a problem. And, if someone is going to fund this, and we're saying, who are these mystery funders? Nobody can tell you where Best Rock is. And also now there's another mystery funder with 40 million US dollars. Again, unnamed. So, there's still a big question mark over that. But at least now there's a breather until May the 26th. Because what the liquidators are also doing, which is unusual, they keep extending the date. And so they keep on giving it more time, because they say what they don't want is a situation where their backs are to the wall and they've got no funds and these water levels are rising and they cannot deal with it. And then the government will just have to step in.
Definitely something we'll keep our eyes on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time,
Thanks,
Martin.
Shannon. Great.
That's the show for today. Join us again next time as we take an in-depth look into the mining world's premier projects, industries and business personalities.